Hey humans, I wanted to show you the classroom setup and some of the thought process that I have going on because you too are going to be in front of a camera for a lot of this virtual learning, so it might be nice to think about your desk setup, how you can be comfortably situated in your chair, how you can have materials easily accessible to you, how you can have some way of displaying your thoughts beside you potentially, and we'll talk about clipboards. So one of the considerations that I needed to think about in this windowless room was lighting. So I have set up these bendy lights, I'm about to blind you, right there to kind of give a little bit more of a direct light, and it's not going to glare off of my whiteboard that I'm displaying too badly. I've also put up some of my art behind me, but also left this blank space so it's not completely distracting. Tried to cut down on some of the visual noise. That is the bookshelf that usually has Saramble Panini and still does. It's just hidden under Sam and Federico and their two zebras. So I thought about what's in that cabinet. I wanted to make it things that I wasn't reaching for very often, but it had kind of the visual noise cut down. So some things that you do want to consider are your background and lighting. You're also going to probably want to consider sound. This is a room that is nice and quiet. At my house, I'd have to make more considerations about that. All right. So some of the things that I am thinking about are the fact that I need my pencils and pens right here, which I'll just turn my camera around and hopefully you can see my setup. So my turtle shell with my binder clips and paper clips is there. Got a pair of scissors. You know I have sharp pencils. I've got the sharpest sharpener in the building, y'all. I have mirrors here for if I am recording with my phone. I can see what's on the screen on the back side. That is obviously not necessary, but this is a bulletin board, so I decided to do that. Also, I have my color-coded notebooks. This is the one that I will use for the majority of my notes, and this is an old one. I just need to catalog it, and two extras, but I will keep all of my notes for all of my thoughts in a single notebook, label it with the year, and if I need extra at the end, we'll deal with that. I've got my colored pencils out. Let me show you what I'm going to do with them. I have to set up a clipboard system, mostly because I found that if I have to open up a binder and put it in a folder, it's gonna get smushy and it's gonna get crinkly, and I'm gonna be too lazy to do it. So here's a lazy person's organization system, which is the magic of the clipboard. Now I just got these donated from somebody. I found them in the front office. But I particularly like the ones that have this little hangy dude, because if I want to, I can set up a bulletin board and use tacks in that to hold each of these so that I can see everything at a glance. I don't know how much of your work is going to be printed out or how much of it you are going to keep in a physical space like on this, but in terms of my plans and my thought process, I have to work on paper before I get into the digital realm, so I know I'm going to have paper clutter and need to address that organization of it. And you might want to keep your notes and your to-do lists and whatever in this system. So basically what I've done is I took a clipboard, and then on the back I have placed my class name that I'm going to be teaching. And for most of the classes I am going to assign a color, like take some association that I have in my brain, merge it with that class, and then designated a color for the year. It works for my brain. It works for most brains to, if you can think of some random thing with a color significance that you can tie into your class, it's gonna work. But this Wits Workshop logo is black and white. The whole website's black and white, so I'm just going to keep it black and white. And I will take this and place it in like an easily accessible shelf that I have below my desk. The next thing that I have ready is the work desk, which is a remote study hall that I'm going to be offering from 10 to 11 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I will post the Google Meet code for that for anybody who wants to join in. So the way I designed the logo and have put it in Google Classroom, I've chosen blue and yellow. Blue for my favorite, which is quiet work time. Honestly, it is. And yellow for the morning, right? Like just two random associations that I have with those colors where I can see this and work desk comes into my head and I don't even have to read the words. I want the color to make the thought come into my head just as much as the words are. It just helps to layer your thinking in that way. I've got a lot more clipboards. I'm gonna figure out the names and logos of all my classes and pair some colors with them, and then I'm going to keep these underneath my desk and have them readily accessible. Some other things you might want to consider having on hand: tape. Again, we said the colored pencils, the Post-it note. I mean, thank you, person who accidentally invented weak glue, because that's good. I've got some scrap paper that I'm going to put into my organization system because I'm always just looking for a little piece to write a random blurb on. What other considerations do I have in here? I don't know. But I rearranged the classroom, as is obvious, and I'll give you a classroom tour in another video. Good to talk to you. Bye.